Hello, everybody. Eric here with a weekly wrap up for June 15th through the 21st. And let's see. On my channel, on Monday, I had a review for Horns by Joe Hill. Friday was a review for Never Flinch, the latest by Stephen King. Please check out those reviews. Wednesday, for Reading Remembrances, it was April of 2007. And we're really getting heavily into leisure horror at this point in my reading back in 2007. That point in my reading. So that's basically what's on the channel. Nothing else, nothing special. I should do something special at some point. Just another sort of random kind of thing. People want my ABCs of horror for books. I did it for movies. But man, that's a hell of a task. Someday. Let's see. Crazy weather. We had some crazy storms. There were tornadoes not too close to me, but right in the town that one of my coworkers lives in. The power flickered on and off, but I don't think we ever lost power for more than a couple of seconds. But our internet went out, which really bugged me. I need noise when I go to bed. I need something to distract me from my thoughts. So I always have the TV on. It's almost always, 99.9% of the time, it's on the Riff Tracks channel. It's good background noise. I'm trying to go to sleep. I can listen to what's going on, and I'm not just going round and round in my own head. But I was unprepared. Everything was fine. I went to bed. 5 or 10 minutes in, I'm half asleep. I realized no sound except for the storm. I didn't want to get up to do anything for sound because that would have just made me wide awake again. So I tried to concentrate on the storm. Eventually, after work the next day, the internet came back on, but it went out again right before I went to bed. But this time, since it was before I went to bed, I took my phone, put it on, went to YouTube, and Mystery Science Theater 3000 has a live channel on YouTube, so I just put that on. Kind of like having Riff Tracks, but the original version, and used up all my data listening to that. But man, tree limbs down, power out across the street, which was weird because usually our side of the street loses power and they have power over there on the other side. But this time it was the opposite. Our basement flooded, but I slept through all that and then just went to work. So didn't know anything about it till it was far too late for me to do anything. We have a leaky vent in the corner of the building where I work. And the rain was so harsh that it wasn't just leaking. It looked like it was forming a huge puddle on the floor, and it looked like it was raining inside the building. I actually took a video of it. It's up on my Facebook. But just a video of the puddle and the drips and drops, and it looks like rain inside the building. And now we've got a heat wave. So it's going to be in the 90s for the next few days. I know that's nothing to some people, but for us, that's quite hot here in Ohio. So there's the weather report for the past week. I got some stuff, got some books. That's always everybody's favorite part of this, I think. So first of all, there was a publisher who sent an email to Hunter Shea, my buddy, fantastic author, Hunter Shea. This publisher sent an email to Hunter Shea asking if he knew how to contact me. Apparently there's no contact information on my YouTube channel. Who knew? And Hunter Shea forwarded the email to me, did not give out my information, but forwarded the email to me. So I contacted the publisher. He wanted to send me or wanted me to review some stuff. And normally I say no. 99%, a lot of percentages in this video. 99% of the time I say no, but this stuff is about The Shadow, and I'm a huge fan of The Shadow, and so I I basically told him, I said, if you want to send physical copies, here's my address. I don't do digital because I just forget about it. And he sent me 2 things. So, today, I received, this is the Shadowed Circle number 7. And you can actually get a subscription to this. And this is articles, I believe, old and new. There's the back cover. This is slightly smaller than magazine size. Maybe magazine size. I don't know the dimensions. But all sorts of pulp, shadow-based information. Just flipping through here, I saw Justice Inc., which had the Avenger. And I saw, what else did I see? Where did it go? Yeah, there's Justice Inc. from Dynamite Comics with the Shadow, Doc Savage, and the Avenger together. Dark Horse, the Shadow, and Doc Savage. Lots of cool illustrations, lots of hopefully interesting information. So they sent me this, and maybe I'll go to their website and get the previous issues. And they sent me this, which I'm currently reading. It happened to arrive just before I finished the book that I was reading. This is called Gangland's Doom, The Shadow of the Pulps. This is the 50th anniversary edition. So it was originally just, they keep saying a booklet, back in 1974. And so the copyright of this, I assume, is 2024. But this says 25, either way. But this is all about the Shadow. It seems, so far, I'm not way too deep into it yet, seems like a great resource if you're writing a Shadow story. Because already I've read the first 2 chapters. I'm on chapter 3. But chapter 1 is Identity True. So it's all about the real identity of the Shadow and stuff. And it's got excerpts, or mentions a bunch of the books where this information comes from. Chapter 2 is False, as in Identity True and False. Excuse me, it's and False is number to chapter 2. And this is all the other guises that the Shadow uses. And then chapter 3 is Agents and Allies. That's what I'm on right now. I've read the introductory part, and now it's an alphabetical list of all his agents and allies and such. So, again, if you were going to be writing a Shadow story or whatever, this is perfect information. So you're getting all of this, the identities right, or identities that he has used. And you can get all the agents and allies correct, etc., etc. Chapter on villains, all sorts of different stuff. There's a list of every single Shadow book. It's really interesting, and of course I'll be reviewing it after I've read it. So I'm currently reading this. I'm going to read this next, since they were sent by the publisher. I want to get them read, get the reviews done. But again, I'm a huge fan of the character of the Shadow. I have a very small collection of the paperback reprints. I've got comics. I've got a big book that's all about the Shadow, and this covers basically the Walter Gibson written books. There were a few other people that wrote some Shadow pulps, and then there's comics and movies and serials and all this other material, and that's what that other huge book that I have covers, like everything there is, plus the radio shows and all that stuff. But this is basically, my understanding so far, just the Walter Gibson, Walter B. Gibson books. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm reading now. And then there are some books that I received that I won't show you. I was going to say I can't. I can. I choose not to, because I finally have all of the books that I wanted for my secret book bundle. So after I finish these 2 Shadow books, and then I want to read a book I'm going to show you shortly, I'm going to start the secret book bundle. 5 books that are all connected by something, and you have to figure it out. I'll keep you updated. I'll let you know when it's about to start. And, when I review the first one, I'll mention that this is the first in the book bundle. I don't think you'll be able to figure it out with the first book. Maybe with the second, we'll see. This may be incredibly easy. It might be difficult. I don't know. But 3 books I got that are part of that secret book bundle. And then I received, I believe this was after last week's wrap-up video, Goddamn Graveyard Zombies by Lucas Mangum. I'm a huge fan of Lucas Mangum. This is his latest, and so this is what I'm reading right after I finish the Shadow stuff. Before I start the secret book bundle, I'm jumping into Goddamn Graveyard Zombies. And then, I believe this is the first time that I have ordered a book from Amazon and received it the same day. But I found out this morning that this book just came out earlier this month. I didn't realize it was out yet. And I was like, I'm just grabbing it because I love, love, love this author. And this is the latest from S.A. Cosby. It is King of Ashes. I just got this before I started recording. I have not read the inside flap or anything, but I don't need to. It's S.A. Cosby. He's catapulted himself into, I think, my top 10 authors. Just an absolutely fantastic writer, and I'm so excited. This probably, things can change, but probably going to jump into this as soon as I finish that book bundle. Excuse me. So those are the books I received. Some of the books I received. As far as reading goes, I finished Spawn by Sean Hudson. I think this is what I was still reading last time I did a weekly wrap-up. I'll be recording the review for this as soon as I finish the current video that I'm making at the moment. And then, because I knew I was going to get these books for the book bundle and other things were coming up, I decided to read a couple quick things. So I have Scan Lines by Todd Kiesling. That's how I say his name. I don't know if that's correct. I've had this for a while. Perpetual Motion Machine Publishing, which is now Ghoulish Books. Max Booth III, Laurie Michelle's publication company. So I've had this for a long time. Finally got around to reading it. I'll be recording that review shortly. This is For Emmy by Mary Sangiovanni. Another one that I've had for a little while. Little tiny thing. One of those that's so tiny there's nothing on the spine. And then, actually, I think this may have arrived after the last video. But I knew, again, as soon as this book came, I knew I was going to start it or read it immediately. And this is Last Night of Freedom by Dan Howarth. Not sure exactly how you pronounce his name. I really dig that cover. I dig the back cover for some reason. There's nothing fancy. I don't know if it's the color, what it is. I like that. 1 weekend, 1 hunt, 1 survivor. And again, I'll be recording this review shortly. So that's what I've read over the past week. Let me set these somewhere. And let's see. Oh, because the internet was out, after I got home from work, I have the TV on a lot. I was on my own for dinner and things. When I get home from work, if I'm on my own, I'll eat pretty much as soon as I get home, close to it. To get it out of the way, because I don't want to eat close to bedtime, but when there's other people in the house, sometimes dinner is a bit late. But I answer emails when I get home, do things on the computer, and I like to have background noise. So, with no internet, I decided, well, I'll just throw in a Blu-ray or a DVD. What do I want that's going to be entertaining enough, but background noise. I can watch it while I'm eating, but if I'm looking at emails, I wanted something that I've seen. So I decided to throw in Warehouse 13. I have a box set, complete series, and I just threw in the first disc. So I watched the premiere episode and the second episode. If there's anybody who doesn't know, maybe the horror fans will get this reference. It's very similar to Friday the 13th, the series, but more science fiction-y based than horror based. But essentially, it's two government agents. They're Secret Service agents who get sent to the middle of nowhere where there's this secret Warehouse 13 where they house objects of power. Think the warehouse at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's that big. And so the first episode starts, we're introduced to our two main characters. They're at a museum that's having this big premiere of a new, whatever you call it. It's not a show, exhibit. And the president's coming, so that's why the Secret Service is there. But there's this bloodstone that's causing problems because it's got weird mystical powers. And the two agents, Latimer and Bering, Micah and Pete, I believe their names are, they save the day and end up getting recruited by Mrs. Frederick to Warehouse 13. They don't want to go there. It's in South Dakota, something like that. They don't want to be there, but it's basically they don't really have much choice. And then the main thing that they're after in the first episode, that was like just set up. And then they're sent somewhere. What the hell is the main thing they're after? They're told to go somewhere. This is possibly a thing. But it's very steampunk. There's this sort of taser knockout electric gun that created by Tesla, and Farnsworth created this big, kind of bulky video communication device. And this is back in the day before everybody was wearing, smartwatches and all that stuff. And cell phones weren't quite as ubiquitous. Would that be the correct term? And there's this purple goo neutralizer stuff. And that they have to, when they find the object, they put it in this purple goo neutralizer to sort of put it to sleep. And anyway, rambling on and on about this show. Really fun show. It was an original sci-fi series. Would cross over with Eureka on occasion. They introduced in later series, there was H.G. Wells, who turned out to be a woman, who just used her brother as a front because, they wouldn't publish science fiction from a woman back in the day. I really loved the actress that played H.G. Wells. And I believe her name is Jamie something. I can't remember her last name. I believe she was named after Jamie Summers, the Bionic Woman. But anyway, lots of great actors on the show, and just very fun. Every week, a different object that they're going after, and they don't know. Okay, now I got it. I remembered because I wasn't sure which the first and the second objects were. But the first episode, after the whole Bloodstone thing, they're sent out. Some dude, perfectly nice, perfect young college guy, out of the blue, beats the shit out of his girlfriend. Artie, who runs Warehouse 13, feels that this might be connected to an object. So they go out to, I want to say it's Iowa, but that, again, could be the next episode. And so they start investigating, trying to figure things out. Michael Boatman is in it. And it turns out the object, spoilers, is a hair comb, decorative hair comb thing that you like stick in your hair, from Lucretia Borgia. And someone has it, it's influencing them, and it wants a bloat orgy, essentially. And then the second episode, there are these bank robberies. They go to investigate, and Tricia Helfer is in this episode of Tricia Helfer of Battlestar Galactica, among many other things. That's probably what she's best known for. And it turns out to be, again, spoilers, this record. And so these people have figured out that this record has the power to basically sends people into their own minds, into a wonderful, a happy place. So these bank robbers is kind of cool. Walk into this place. One of them opens up their coat and there's speakers lining their jacket. The other one's playing the record and it's blasting out into the bank and basically immobilizing everybody so they can rob the bank. There's reasons. There's things going on. But anyway, a lot of fun. I really love the show. So I was watching that while I was internetless. Really hadn't planned on rambling about that so much, but it just happens. Really, really fun show. All right. I think that covers everything. So question for the video. You ever watch any original Sci-Fi Channel shows? If so, what did you watch? What did you think? I watched a few. I did not watch Battlestar Galactica. I did watch, I think, the entire first season on DVD. Someone lent it to me and I watched it. And I enjoyed it very much, but didn't watch the rest of it. And that's probably the high point of original sci-fi material. As far as budget, acting, storytelling, all of that. That's probably the highest point. But I enjoy these nice fun shows like Warehouse 13. I enjoyed Eureka. I think I watched that entire show. And I started watching that because of the crossovers with Warehouse 13. Trying to think of any other original shows, but nothing's popping into my mind. Resident Alien started out on Sci-Fi, right? Or did that start somewhere else and move to Sci-Fi? I can't remember, but I loved Resident Alien. That was a lot of fun. I'm behind on that one, though. I have to catch up, watch the episodes I haven't seen. But, yeah, if a show, if I enjoy the characters and I'm entertained, that's always what I'm looking for, first and foremost. So yeah, I haven't watched probably even half of original sci-fi material. And again, I'm talking TV shows, not necessarily movies. I think I've only seen the first Sharknado. But I've enjoyed what I've watched. But what about you? You a sci-fi fan? Have you watched the shows? Did you like any? Did you dislike any? Let me know in the comments below. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post spoiler warning. We try to be polite here on my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. All the usual YouTube stuff. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, I'll have links for my Instagram and Bluesky in the description below. And that's all I have for you this time. So until next time, read more books.